that time again, that time of the week for another brand new episode of the Beyond Suspicion podcast. We're down one man. Of course, Molly will have to take his place. So, Brett, we're missing you on this one. It's this one's dubbed our Christmas special. So happy holidays to all our viewers, listeners, and just supporters of the podcast. We hope you have an amazing Christmas. A couple days.
What did Adam Sandler say? He said, "Happy Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa."
All those combined. If you don't celebrate Christmas, just shout out to you. Hopefully, you have an amazing holidays, right? So
I have to say is that oh your Hanukkah, smoke your marijuana.
Oh yeah, what skit was? Is that a skit?
It's Adam Sandler.
It is. Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. I mean, good.
The pipes are a little rusty today, guys. So you know.
Yeah, we'll talk about your coaching experience too, what you've been going through. But nonetheless, again, happy holidays. It's definitely, man. Is it safe to say that this is it your favorite holiday of the year? Do you think Christmas?
I would say so for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just revisiting the childhood era where obviously opening Christmas gifts and all that stuff, but as you get older, of course, we're family men, so it's like it kind of changes vice versa. I think I'm much more of a giver instead of a receiver.
Definitely.
Not to say, no pun intended, but so the roles definitely are reversed. But yeah, man, it's crazy. We're on December. We're on the verge of crossing into 2025, which is insane because I feel like 2024 started not too long ago. So yeah, man, the new year is creeping on us as well. So much more to celebrate about. But before we begin, obviously, if Brett was here, I definitely got my boys some gifts. Of course, like I said, going back to what I was saying, I'm a giver. It's a time of giving. Is that what they say? Time of giving?
Something
like that. Whatever, right? But who doesn't like presents, right? So my boy here, I got you a little Christmas present. If you want to wrap it here on the podcast, feel free to do it if you want. Or if you want to do it Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. So what's the point between... Now, here's the question I want to ask, and respond in the comments when this drops. Do you open gifts Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? You.
So I think every family is different.
Yeah, for sure.
I've heard a lot of people that actually they open majority of their Christmas presents the night before,
Christmas
and
Eve,
then they have one big gift that they open on Christmas
Day
or something like that. We as kids, me and my brothers, we would go over to my aunt and uncle's house, and my cousins would be there, my grandma and grandpa. And they would buy the kids gifts and stuff like that. So on Christmas Eve, we might get a gift or two.
Yeah.
But as we got older, they kind of stopped, Yeah. So now it's like, we get a couple gifts on Christmas, and that's pretty much, that's what we do. Yeah.
So you're right. I mean, for me,
stocking.
We have obviously at my mom's. We go over to my mom's and do Christmas Day over there. But Christmas Eve, we go to my wife's side of the family. So we kind of celebrate both styles, I guess you could say. But back in the days, I think we would wait till Christmas morning to open our gifts, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So you're right. I mean, I think everybody does it differently. But then there's time where, there was this one year where I was struggling to stay awake till 12 o'clock. So it's I would have to take a mini nap so I can at least last till 12 o'clock at night. Christmas, midnight on the 25th. And open gifts then. So, yeah. I mean, it's just different styles. Different strokes for different folks, I guess you could say, right? So, yeah. So, we're creeping up on that. There's so much going on, in the world, man. I wish Brett was here because there's some stuff that I would want to ask him on stuff that, we've been keeping tabs on just off the pod and messaging back and forth with everything. But just to kind of touch base back real quick on the last episode we recorded. If you haven't checked it out, do so. All mixed streaming platforms. But the gentleman that... took out the CEO. There's a lot more stuff coming out. His manifesto was released to the public, but it seems like it's shifting in regards to people supporting what he did. Have you seen that?
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I'm terrible at this stuff as always. Yeah. I see it only because everyone's talking about it. But I haven't really cared enough other than the pod, when we talked about it last time. That's pretty much the most that I found out. But a friend of mine has been following it really closely. Yeah. And I've been hearing that some of the women, it's almost like a Ted Bundy type thing. He's creating a cult following where people are sending him money on his books, and he's getting panties in the mail and
jeez.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like a folk hero in a sense, like a vigilante in a sense, right?
I guess.
And what's insane, Brett on the last episode touched base how he asked the question, do you think this is going to start some type of trend where we'll see more of this stuff happening. And what's crazy, there was a story that came out, and man, I'll have to pull it up here as we're talking about it. But there was a story that a lady actually made a threat, but the cops got to her because she made a threat saying that, like, I would be sorry if something happened to you, or don't be surprised if something happens to you next, or something like that, over the phone. And obviously she got reported, and the cops showed up at her doorstep and arrested her. So she was making like an actual legitimate threat. And there's like a bunch of, there was a sign over here that got hacked, not here locally, but there was a sign that got hacked, those electrical signs that say roads will be closed. Somebody hacked into it and said, one down, plenty more to go. So you're seeing a lot more stuff like that. I'm like, hey, anything could happen. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm not behind it, but it's very interesting. This almost starts like a little wave, right? Of like, if there's gonna be any type of copycats, trying to pull off some stuff like that. Right. And it's unfortunate, of course, because when, lives are lost, regardless of who they are, right? It's just, there's somebody's father, grandpa, whatever, husband, brother, dad, right. At the end of the day, they all got lives as well, just like we do. But it's just insane to think that this might start a tidal wave of somebody trying to be a copycat, potentially pull some stuff like that. So question is, will it be the last time we hear something like this? I don't know, bro.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the world is just a crazy place right now. I'm even nervous at work. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, we can't talk too much about that, but I actually had an incident recently where, like, I'm not even joking you, this dude, I'm nervous. Yeah. Not that like, if we got in a fist fight, like I'm not saying I'd lose, but he's the type of guy that if something,
interesting.
So I'm like, I get it, man. It seems like it's a crazy world out there.
It is, man. Especially with just everybody, especially like around this time of year, right, where like, it's the holidays and stuff like that. A lot of people really aren't in the best, I guess, scenarios, situations to celebrate, Christmas for one, right? But it's like a lot of people are dealing with just the levels of stress with just prices going through the roof and just being able to maintain a roof over their head. I mean, there's a bunch of different scenarios, bro. That's the thing, right? So not everybody has it as sweet as I would say, like, we're cool, we're doing fine, right? But there's other people that are probably going through stuff that we can only imagine. And it's only in the amount of time where it can just snap like that and boom, lose it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely be cautious out there, people. Definitely be cautious. Just be careful. Be nice to those. You never know.
I got a step stool set up right by my desk, and I'm going over the fence if I see this guy.
You're prepping for just the
kids. I have it set up right against the wall. So
a pair of scissors right there, just in case.
I don't think that'll defend me from what he's gonna do.
That's insane. But amongst all the crazy stuff, cheeky subjects, of course, since we already talked about this gentleman, but what's going on the East Coast in New Jersey? I mean, have you heard about all those drones that are flying around?
A little bit.
Okay, so this is what's very interesting about that. And I'm sure by now people are definitely, they have their ears pinned to what's going on, what they're talking about. There's a lot of rumors, obviously, going out there talking about what these things are, what the government's saying about them. But what I find interesting, right, is just the mere fact of just drone technology. If you were to tell me this a couple years ago, that there's these objects flying around, I mean, could it be a UFO, UAP, whatever? Because drones at the time when we were, coming out, like maybe like, 07, 06 is when I graduated high school, like drones, like the technology behind that, it wasn't that much of a common thing. Is it fair to say? Like, you wouldn't really hear about it, right? But now, fast forward, in 2024, people use drones to film videos, right? Or take pictures, whatever. So it's more common, right? It's more out there. So
my dad uses a drone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shot.
He takes pictures of of the family, like in the backyard.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
That's so awesome.
He'll take pictures of his property and stuff like that.
So he got really crafty with it.
Yeah. He puts his phone on it. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's sick. But obviously it's more common now, though, right? But what's crazy is that when the government says they have no clue what this is, so they claim, again, I'm just going off of what I've been seeing here on X and all that, which is my trusted source of info. They don't know what it is, and they claim that they don't know who's operating them. And there was a gentleman on the Joe Rogan podcast I was listening to, because Joe was asking him just a bunch of questions because he has his ears all on this and all that. He was saying that there's around 800 to 1,000 of these things flying around.
Wow.
And they came from the coast off the ocean.
How big are they?
They say it's the size of a car.
Okay.
So So, I mean, there's a bunch of questions that arise here, right? Because obviously, for one, I mean, we don't trust the government with what they tell us. I mean, they can say they don't know what it is, but in low key, they probably know. The technology we have nowadays, man, I mean, they always say we're like 5-10 years ahead. Could it be something that they're probably testing just to see what it is? And the second rumor I heard is that they're potentially searching for a warhead they somehow lost. That's the one where it kind of like, whoa, like I had to like wait for a minute. I'm like, how can you lose a warhead like that and have these things looking for it?
When I was driving up I-5 a couple of years ago, I looked up and I saw this this solid white. It was a drone. Yeah. I'm almost positive. Yeah. But the only way I could explain it is like, you know, the windmills.
Okay.
Like
the big fan thing.
It was like that. Like a fucking glider just going, like you could see it just flying by. Yeah. And it was big. It was like a car. Yeah. Like, I mean, it didn't look like huge because it was up kind of far. Yeah. But you could tell it wasn't as big as a plane. Yeah. It was like kind of almost like a helicopter maybe size, but it was just like a frame of like this white thing just floating around.
That's insane.
So I'm guessing that was some, you know.
So the mere fact though that they're the size of a car and they don't know what it is, and law enforcement is telling these people around the areas where they're seeing these things that don't be alarmed, don't shoot at them. But it's a lot of people are saying different things in regards to like supposedly there's a rumor that one of them got shot down, like a civilian shot it down. Another person got a glimpse of it with video saying that it's like one of them looked like a sphere and it looked like a square box inside of the middle of it. But keep in mind, 800 to 1,000 of these things flying around. It's almost alarming because we don't know. For one, we don't know who's flying them. So they say, right? But I've seen my fair share of movies of what they can do with these things. And I mean, if you want to take a look at what's going on over in, this, for example, Ukraine and Russia, they're strapping bombs to these things, and literally these things ignite as soon as they touch whatever surface. Boom, they blow up. So you tell me, let's just put a scenario out there. I'm not trying to spark any fear, but you know, here on the Beyond Specific podcast, we dive deep in this. So imagine 800 or 1,000 of those things, and they're flying around areas where there's a bunch of civilians. What would be the possibility of one of these things, or a few of these things, being strapped to some type of bomb on them, or a bomb strapped to, some of them, and they just start freaking nosediving straight down to people or cars or buildings? And I mean, because if you think about it, like these things, for one, are super fast. In order to take them down, you need to have a good shot or be able to shoot at these things like direct on, because the way these things, like how fast they fly, bro, they are extremely quick. Now, the only way to down some of these, like in an instant, is what they call like an EMP weapon, where it pretty much fries the circuitry with inside the drone itself because it's all electric, right? But that's all you can get. But I don't think you're seeing people walking around with any type of EMP technology for them to take down these things. So
I think it's heavily illegal for anyone.
It's for one, to me, like, I'm a guessing man, and I just, my brain takes me to these places where like I just start thinking of the worst possible outcomes, right? I would not doubt that we will have some type of terrorist attack in the near future involving drones with bombs attached to them, because at that point, you don't know who's flying them. They don't got to be too far away to fly these things. I mean, think about it. And they're so quick.
And how do you trace it?
Exactly. They're done. They're explosions. Like, why do you trace that? I'm just saying, like, to me, it just seems odd that these things are just flying around like freely. Like, even police, like law enforcement, isn't doing anything about it. So it's like, and even Donald Trump, our future president here, so he's saying that he doesn't know what's going on, but it's very weird what's happening, and they know what it is. Like, like at this point, it's kind of like, don't you think as U.S. citizens we deserve to know what the hell's going on with all this stuff? And then, obviously people talk about it could be a UAP, UFOs, all this stuff, because the activity in that is like, dude, these recent sightings they're spiking through the roof.
What if it's us and we're worried that something's about to happen, so our government put all those up in the air?
Just a surveillance?
Like, as maybe they think that area is, because you said they're all in the same area.
Yeah. And they're coming from the ocean.
What if there's some sort of government headquarters or some unknown, you know what I mean?
They said around that area where they're at, there's a bunch of government buildings and also some army bases around there.
So Secaucus, New Jersey is one of the weirdest towns I've ever been to.
Oh, really?
And what's really strange about it, it's like dead, right?
Yeah.
They used to have a mall there, and I went there to go to a football game, and Rutherford, or I think it was Rutherford, East Rutherford or whatever. So like 20 minutes away was Secaucus, and the headquarters for Tiffany's, Supreme.
Oh, really?
The replay headquarters for the NBA, the replay headquarters for the NFL, all of them are there.
Insane.
And the town is dead.
But
So
but those big names
buildings
are there
everywhere. There's buildings everywhere, and I only found that out because I went there and I noticed the name, right, and then because I did reselling, and I bought something from Tiffany's, I noticed all of them had a similar address, but like there's nothing around there.
That's very
Isn't
weird.
that really odd? So, and what I mean by that is like, I'm not saying they're hiding there or anything like that, but someone else could be hiding there because there's buildings that are empty, like massive buildings everywhere. And they're like, oh, out of business. It's like, what? Well, how does that make sense?
It doesn't make sense.
If all those like big time companies, that's where their headquarters are stationed.
Interesting.
Like, how are they abandoned? I don't know. Maybe they're hiding something up there. That seems like that's the same general area that you're talking about.
I mean, all I know is in New Jersey, somewhere over there in New Jersey, and it's in the East Coast, and they're seeing a lot of these things. And it's been happening for a few weeks. The gentleman on the Joe Rogan podcast was saying that it was like since last year they've been popping up. And they're seeing a lot more of these things. But, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if I were to ask you solely, like, do you think really we're in the near future they're probably prepping us to like be more exposed to this stuff, so like they could actually unveil the fact that we possibly had contact with outer beings? It may not be aliens, but outer beings, some different type of freaking.
I'm sure there has been. I'm sure there has been, but I think it's like when we think about what contact is, I think it's different than what we've gotten. Like, unless, because they say that we have captured, crashed, like on crash sites, they found like actual bodies. And like they've been alive. And I think that is like real contact. But I think there has been like maybe messages that are transmitted, like that we've received, and maybe they just don't say anything about it because it's going to scare everyone. It could even be like some weird shit, like a movie, like where like you're sending yourself a message, like that type you know what I mean, like an alternate universe type thing, where they're like further along than us, but that's what aliens are.
Someone said it was crazy. That's a good segue to
aliens
the next thing.
Are just us, like in another realm, in another dimension or something.
Okay, I'm about to rock your world. So that's a good segue to the next topic we want to talk about. But yeah, I mean, just to finish off on the topic of UAPs, I kind of ask myself sometimes if they were to really fully say like, we're not alone on this planet and that's all we can say. I think people were too much into their lives, like, living their lives to where they'll probably think about it for a day and they just continue on living their life like nothing ever happened. Because I think everybody's got really a lot of things going on to the point where, like, unless things would change, if like we see one of these things come down and make contact, I think things to me at that point, things would change drastically, and it would change the fate of humankind forever. Because it's like now you question a lot of things.
Right? It depends on what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't do that.
Whoa, see, they're tapping in. I swear. Every time on this podcast, I swear, something crazy always happens. We lose internet. Siri comes out of nowhere. I swear they're tapping in. But anyways, it's I think we would freak out for a little bit, and then we would go back to normal.
And it might be different for everyone. Like, depending on what they see, they could say, "Oh, this is God coming."
Or it could be something demonic. It could be.
But the people that have that strong of faith, unless they see something like a figure or like laser beams coming down on the buildings, they might just think it's God coming back.
True. They got that second coming.
Yeah,
you're right. It's I just still think we would care for that moment, but life would go on as like nothing ever happened until something, like you said, if they do come in peace, or if they were to cause a threat to the planet Earth, it'd be just different. But you were talking about something interesting, right? Like how you were saying that what if they're us from the future and just kind of messaging us in the past, right? But what's crazy with that, so I've been kind of listening to a podcast about quantum computing, And quantum computing, from what I know, is like a very advanced type of technology where it can figure out problems or figure out certain like type of equations at super high speeds in comparison to how it would take a human being years and years and years to figure out. So I want to read this. Google physicists say their new quantum computing chip called Willow could offer evidence for the existence of parallel universes. It lends credence to the notion that the quantum computation occurs in many parallel universes, in line with the idea that we live in a multi-universe. So what that means, from my understanding, I guess, in the comments, people line me up, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going up on what we think, just giving our opinion on kind of what they mean when they say this stuff. So that means that's pretty much saying that there's another you and there's another me living in different multiple universes, and everything's in a different way. Like, I don't know, I'll give an example. I could be talking a different language or something like that. I could be born in a different country or whatever, be a different ethnicity, something like that. That's kind of how I think about it. But let's roll it back a little bit. So you're telling me there's technology now able to give you the answer or give you a type of idea that this is just one timeline, how things are going a certain way, that there's multiple timelines stacked up on top of each other, or we could be in the middle or in between one another, thinking that whatever we're doing now, there's multiples of it existing right now as we speak.
That's why a lot of people, people like, what's it, Jim Carrey?
Yeah.
He says we live in a simulation.
Simulation, yeah.
And I'm not anything.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah, I remember that interview.
So
yeah.
I mean, personally, I can see that, in a way it is a simulation. If we have multiple timelines stacked up, it's like, oh, well, what happens if this happens? And what happens if this that's pretty much, that's what it is.
Yeah. Or I'll take it one step further. I'm just saying, again, this is just speaking freely and just giving our opinions, people. So don't take anything serious.
Oh, no, not educated.
This is we're definitely, but we're pros though. But the thing is, okay, so what if they're saying there's multiple universes, right? What if life after death does exist, but we actually just go to that different universe and we start all over again?
I hope.
I hope there's something. But the scary thing about it though is to think, right? Like you always kind of have I always have a moment too where I think, what if when it's all said and done, it's just pure darkness and there's nothing? Like, could you accept to bear the fact that we're here living, we're doing this podcast, we're enjoying life, and then there's gonna come a time where the light switch just goes off and just there's complete nothingness?
Well, to me, it's you're not even gonna know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like, how will you know, right?
Well, and you're in from what I read, I think I might have read the same article that you read about that. It's rice burn.
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry, like totally just.
But life after death.
Yeah. So there was a guy that I read an article and he was talking about life after death, and he was basically saying that science has proven almost at this point that there is, when you die, you're basically in a meditation state. And essentially what you're saying, this is what the guy was saying as well. Like, you're going to go to sleep, and whether you're in another body quickly or later or now, you're just going to be in a meditative state, and you're just going to basically wake up again.
And also, what's the trippy thing about it too? I remember, because I listened to a lot of different pods, but another one was like, what if how do you know that you're still alive right now? Mm-hmm. Like what if considerably they're saying, right, this is hell for what we know, because you struggle, whatever struggles you go through, you're going to struggle as a human being, regardless of what different level struggles these are. But when they talk about heaven and all that, they say it's a place where you deal with no issues whatsoever and you just live eternally for the rest of your life. And it's like, what if this is hell? I mean, like Tupac said, living on this planet is like hell as it is, depending on what situation you're in. But it's like you're just dealing with all these troubles, because I don't know, the way he said it was it made me almost think damn, how do you know if you're, like you said, how do you know? That's the question. How do you know?
I mean, yeah.
You're like,
got a pulse.
yeah, but you're right. Yes, that obviously when you do pass, they say that the brain's still working for a few minutes, but it's kind of like recounting your memories and all that. But obviously, there's like you transcend, like where your consciousness goes. Nobody knows. That's the thing. Like,
I don't find out anytime soon.
Dude, man. That's why they always say, man, you want to live your life, live it to the fullest, because you only got one vessel, and when your time to go, is your time to go, But it's a reminder to really kind of, just think to yourself, you definitely have X amount of years you got on this planet, live it to the best of your capabilities, and just
whatever that means for you.
Yeah, whatever that means for you, right?
Me, it doesn't mean jumping out of airplanes or bungee jumping, but
or going what is it, alligator wrestling,
no helicopters,
helicopters. Hell no. Even people that do like those squirrel suits, wingsuits.
Oh, dude, you see that one guy that hit the rock? He tried to go through it was like they made a Family Guy about it.
Yeah.
They're joking about it.
What the hell?
Yeah.
And he gets like full blown
dude,
shit
he
around.
tries to go like through Peter goes with his buddy and he meets at the grocery store and they go squirrel shooting.
Yeah.
And his buddy wants to like go, they call it through the gap. There's like this little circle.
Yeah.
And he tries to fly through it and he
gets
just
smacked
splat
on. Oh, dude.
And Peter's flying next to him and he's like, oh. Yeah.
So there's this one video, since we're talking about this, where this dude is like a pro building hopper. Oh, bro. Oh my. So he like he's I think he's climbing up a building in this one, and he's just like, he uses no type of safety equipment. And he's climbing, he's like, using his feet and all that, and he's trying to go to this other like little ledge, and he can't seem to get a grip, bro. And he loses grip, and you just see him fall.
Like, how high? Like,
I'm like 1,000
like
feet.
Splat.
Like, I mean, you don't see this guy like hit the cement, but like he must have placed the phone there, and he was trying to like grab or like get himself up, and you could just see him losing his grip, and you just see him that's it. Dude,
see, to me, that's like that's the worst.
Yeah,
I'm tall as hell, but I have a fear of heights. Like, bro, that would be to me, because like if you get shot, you're like dead, right?
Yeah,
like,
well, depending where they hit you, but
like,
yeah, most of the time.
or you like it's like stabbed in an artery, or like get a car accident, you bleed out.
Yeah.
That's like 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000. 5 1,000 and then splat.
Yeah.
So it's like you get time to think about it right before you hit the ground. There's no turning back.
Oh no, man! I mean, the internet could be, for me, I like to look at a lot of funny videos and memes, but every now and then you'll get some that you see people not making it, and I'm like, dude, this is brutal. Like stuff that just like, you just never know. Like you could think like you're out having an awesome time at this car meet, you get smashed by this car. It's like, dude.
Well, they had a special on Netflix about that couple, that Russian couple that would climb buildings and take pictures and stuff. And I want to say that the guy ended up dying. Yeah, I want to say, yeah.
I mean, if they say you enjoy what you do it like your basic abilities, but it's like
they would go all the way to the very top of like where the needle is.
Yeah.
And climb up the top of like the very top of like the needle of the skyscrapers.
That's insane.
And they would like hang off of them. And I want to say they were gymnasts or something, or one of them was a gymnast.
Yeah.
I think the girl was a gymnast. She was like an Olympic gymnast or something. And then the guy was like just a social media like climber.
Yeah.
And then she started doing it.
Yeah.
And then they met each other through social media.
Yeah.
And then they got married, I think, and then he ended up dying. So
damn, dude, it's just the way to go out, dude. It's
they would do crazy artistic stuff though. I'm not gonna lie. They'd be like doing like ballet poses because the girl's super flexible. So she'd be doing like the one leg behind the head.
Yeah.
Like standing on a tippy toe.
Yeah.
Like, and then the guy would be like doing something like also, so it was crazy.
But it could be just one fatal error and it's all said and done. That's
a long climb down by yourself.
Yeah, that
like
too,
you watch your partner just fall off, right?
What do you do?
And then
what do you do?
slowly climb down after.
Traumatized for life.
Right?
Traumatized for life.
And
so.
you probably go to jail, I'm guessing.
Oh, dude, hell yeah! I mean,
unless you ran away. But
oh no, man! I'm sure they got evidence of who these people are, but
all the photo evidence of them doing it,
dude.
Right?
Oh, dude, that's crazy, man. No, but people, be careful out there. Whatever you do is, just definitely be careful. But enjoy what you do. I guess it's your life, but it's insane to think, though. But let's talk about a little sports, man. Let's talk a little bit of sports. So we were talking about before this, the Seahawks were playing against the Vikings, and do we have the actual? We're recording this in real time, peeps, so bear with us.
Yeah, do you have your phone?
I do have my phone.
Yeah,
so let's look up.
Lost.
So this game determines if we go to the playoffs, correct?
It keeps us alive.
It keeps us alive. Yeah. Okay. So it keeps us alive to see if we go to the playoffs.
Well, no, I think
it is for the playoffs.
No, I think technically we still got a chance.
We still got a chance. Okay, let's see.
Even if we lose, because we're 8, and even if we lose today, we're 8-7. There's 2 games left, so if they won 2 and then the Rams lost 1.
So we lost 27-24.
Yeah.
So
that means I was 1 leg away from 2,500.
Jeez, man. So does that mean we're officially out?
I don't think so. I think technically we still have a chance.
Okay. Do you think we're gonna make it?
If the Rams have 9 wins, and we have 8, and there's 2 left.
Okay.
So that means that if they lose 2 and we win 2, we're in. But it ain't gonna happen.
So I think we're done. You're done for the year? And so let's talk about before the season started, your expectations now. Do you believe that this played out the way you kind of imagined it?
Yeah,
or
pretty much.
Pretty much?
Yeah, I thought they maybe won a game or 2 more than I thought they would.
Okay.
But I didn't think they would do anything anyway, so.
Okay.
It's all good.
I mean, I think this year was definitely the first year for the coach to kind of get his feet wet with the team. Because if you think about it, it's like when you're on a new squad, you have your new crew. It's gonna take some adapting, I would think, right, to kind of get everything, grease the wheel, like I would say, right, first, and then kind of builds from that. So going forward now, do we see, man, it's funny when we talk about sports because I know these clips are going to make it out. And on TikTok, we got a lot of traction on TikTok. We do get a lot more activity there. But, I mean, talk to the people, Brad. If you were to have 2 things change for next season, what would you want to see first and foremost for the Hawks?
Well, we need offensive line. Our offensive line is horrible again.
Okay,
well, I don't know about new. I know, I haven't paid a lot of attention recently.
Yeah.
But I believe that we have some injuries on the line.
Okay.
So last year we did pretty well. This year we've kind of been shaky as far as protecting the quarterback. So I would say, we need to get a couple offensive linemen. And then we also need to get some sort of pressure on defense.
Okay.
So back when Legion of Boom was killing it, part of the reason why they were so good is we had a rotation of guys that could rush the quarterback. Bennett, Clemens, my memory's really bad now, but we had a Red Bryant, we had a rotation of defensive ends that would come in, and Cliff Averill.
Yeah.
So we just had guys that were just we didn't even have to send blitzes. We could just line the floor up and we would eventually get pressure.
Yeah.
That helps the back end of the defense because you don't have to give up. Let's say you have your 3 linebackers or whatever package you're playing, and instead of having those 3 linebackers or 1 or 2 of them come to the quarterback, you can keep them back in coverage.
Yeah.
So if 4 can get there, then you have 7 to play coverage.
Yeah.
Which was what made us so good back in the day. It's called, and then if you have good coverage on the back end, then it's easier for the defensive guys to get there.
Yeah.
Right? Because it takes Sherman. If you're locking somebody up, the quarterback looks over at you, he's not there, he's looking around.
Yeah.
Eventually, the longer it takes, the defense is going to get to the quarterback.
So why is it that they don't, if you see something work so well at that time, why is it so hard for, and I'm only asking because I'm curious. I mean, I'm no football professional, if I were to say, but why is it so hard to kind of replicate something that's worked so well for us to do it now? Why is it such a, is it because we don't have enough cap for us to get players?
To do it like Legion of Boom?
Yeah.
Well, just because that's rare.
That's
honestly.
rare. Okay.
In order to do that, you have to draft all of them. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem is, most teams don't hit on 5 players in one draft. And that's pretty much what happened, like over the span of like 2 years, we got like an entire team of starters, you know, like, so, and I want to say when Pete Carroll took over, it was like a record amount of transactions, like the amount of people that turned over, like in his first like 10 years a coach. So even going into that year when we got Russell, a lot of people got cut like right before that. So we got lucky. I mean, we loaded up on draft capital. We hit on like, I know people are going to kill me because I can't remember which draft was which, but I want to say Sherman, Russell, Baldwin, Bobby Wagner. Like,
it was a pretty good squad, bro.
Might even been like Earl Thomas or like something, like all of them like in the same like 2 or 3 drafts.
So it's kind of like a luck of the draw on the players that you know are like, you kind of don't know how it's going to play out in the next couple years, but they all kind of like superseded their expectations. So we're like, we got a full like locked in squad.
Yeah, you just in order to get to that point again, you have to draft really well.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
It's pretty much impossible otherwise. And also keep in mind at that time when we had Russell, he was making like $500,000 a year.
Yeah, he was making that.
Right now, how much quarterbacks are making?
Oh, dude, crazy.
Like the middle tier quarterback, like Gino, is making like $50 million. I think he's making 40 actually.
Yeah,
we got him on a bargain. But people at that level are making 50.
Yeah. So do you now, since you mentioned Gino, do you see him coming back next year or no?
If we can't do any better, yeah.
Damn, dude.
I know.
I'm like, dude, the guy did decent. I'm not gonna flame him, but I think we should move up.
He'll take like 35. That's why.
Okay.
And like we could get someone equal to him for like 45.
Now, okay.
So
would there be a possibility if we were to give up some money on his end, and he's like, just give me a solid offensive squad and get some defensive players?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what he's doing already.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think he only got paid like $35 million. I mean, but he also knew that if he went somewhere else, it was probably over.
Yeah, true.
Because he's been in this system now long enough. This is probably his last hurrah. So if he gets traded somewhere else, he's probably not going to do super well right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because it's first year in a system. Like, and that's part of his strength now is that he sat behind Russell for like a year or two.
Yeah.
He already knew the system like really, really well and got practice reps. I don't think he's good enough to just go to another team and just take him to the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay, so makes sense.
I think he knows that. I think he knows that. He's being smart. His agent's being smart and telling him to take these deals.
Yeah.
Because 35 a year for 6 years is a lot better than 50 for 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, man. I mean, I would hope that we just definitely, beef up our team to where, we could definitely. I mean, I at least want to get one more Super Bowl win for that one. What could have been 2 back to back, dude. It's forever going to be haunting us.
Well, it'll never change in our lifetime. Yeah. Because 2 in a row, think about it, it's only happened like 4 times ever.
That's crazy.
So it's probably not going to happen to us. We had our chance.
Man, the only team that's going to pull it off is Kansas. You're like your dad says. When is Mahomes going to play?
I mean, this is actually an argument to be made. Is wearing a Mahomes jersey the same as wearing a Jordan jersey? Like, but for football. So, like, the reason why I say that is because you could be a fan of the Lakers, but you could wear a Jordan jersey.
Or I'll take it one further. Like, is wearing a Brady jersey comparison to wearing a Jordan jersey?
I think Mahomes is more.
Really?
Well, because he's.
You're right. We had this discussion.
He's more iconic. He's more iconic. Well,
but at a young age, okay, what was the debate? It wasn't much of a debate.
He has 3, and he's like 25.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's a young guy. He's got 3 rings already.
Yeah.
In comparison to the fashion that Brady did it when he was coming up.
Brady's almost like Bill Russell. So, like, Bill Russell has the most rings of all time.
Okay.
But they don't say he's the greatest. He has like
11,
8 or 11 or something like that. Yeah, because he has 2 of them on both of it. Yeah, he has 1 of them, 2 on his thumb. Yeah, I mean, I think Brady is one of the greatest ever. And right now he has the greatest resume of all time. But talent-wise and like dynamic plays that no one can make, and like just completely redefining the quarterback position, that's Mahomes. And to me, that's like Jordan. He revolutionized
You're
basketball.
going to get some traction on the comments.
He revolutionized basketball.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brady.
I know there's going to be fans from Brady that are going to
I actually really like Brady too, but I'm just saying compare it, it's like style, right?
Yeah.
Like you would have to say as Boston people, New England, like Bill Russell, Boston.
Yeah.
You have to understand that comparison. You can't say that Bill Russell is even better than LeBron. There's no way. Like, even though he has 8 rings, can't say that. And then there's going to be some idiot down there, Bill, I guarantee you, or he has 11 rings, whatever, however many rings he has. It doesn't matter. Like,
it's the fashion how they got those rings.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And the longevity also matters. So, and that's why people are going to say something about Bill Russell in the comments, because I'm saying, oh, well, LeBron did it longer, better, right? Well, Bill Russell did it long and got a lot of championships.
Yeah.
But he wasn't, I don't believe he was ever, without looking at stats, I don't believe he was ever that type of an impact guy. Like he was always like the top 1 or 2 guys on the team.
Yeah.
But he wasn't putting up like 40 and 38 and 9 and 9.
Yeah.
Or like averaging 48 in the finals. Like, I mean, you pull up his stats real quick and look, just because I don't look like an idiot.
Yeah, I got you.
I honestly want to say he was like a 18 point, 15 rebound guy.
There you go, Bill Russell stats right there. Look it up.
Yeah, and look what I say. So he and for the better of his, he was really good though. I mean.
Now you're like, I'm retracing.
Well, no, it's what I said.
Yeah.
Like, he averaged like 17 points, 20 boards.
Yeah, okay.
So I underestimated the rebounds.
Yeah.
But scoring wise, he never averaged 20 in his whole career.
So you were saying he's average.
But he has 11. How many rings? 11 rings.
11.
How many rings does Bill Russell have?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I think that's the thing to put it into notion, right? Where
he has 11.
Yeah, to put it into notion is it's the fashion that individual or that athlete got to those rings and what they did in contribution with the team to really say like for example, I'm an MJ fan. When you say LeBron, MJ. Fuck that. I'm going to say cold-heartedly MJ over LeBron.
No, it is MJ, for
sure. Only because if you go and watch The Last Dance and watch just this teammates talk about it, and granted, they're always going to find the things to say and speak truthfully, say like, he was an a-hole sometimes, because he had that win mentality. But you know what? He did what he had to do to put the team on his back and take him to the championship. Right. The mere fact that he would drop 40, 30 points or whatever, but he did what he had to do to take his team to the championship.
The one argument I will make, though, is that he didn't take his team to the final more than 6 times.
Okay, fair enough.
That's not that many times.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at it nowadays, like, even Kobe went more than 6.
Yeah.
Like, how did he not go more than 6? That's the only thing I have a problem with. Yeah. It took him 4 or 5 years to even get to the point of competing for one. Yeah. And a lot of people don't talk about that. Yeah. He struggled and got his ass beat for 5 years by himself. And then as soon as he started getting pieces, that's when he started doing well. So, and I mean, yeah.
In fairness, though, you can only do so much as an individual. Like you said, he got the pieces to the squad to complete it. Right. But the fact that he built his way up to get to that point and did it in a fashion, 3 back-to-back, took a hiatus, 3 more back-to-back.
Yeah, but how... Okay, one thing I don't agree with is that I feel like LeBron is penalized for dragging teams to the finals. Yeah. Like, just because Jordan didn't do that. Yeah. Like, it seems like, oh, now 6 for 6. Like, but he was never able to, like, drag anyone there. Like, if you look at his teams, I mean, they're good. Like, people could be like, oh, he doesn't have Steph Curry or he doesn't have Kyrie. I mean, he kind of had those guys back then. Like, his squad was cold. Like, they had, I mean, Ron Harper played for the Lakers and he was bad. And they pulled him over. He was the point guard. I mean, he had pieces around him during that run. There was a lot of guys that were really good, like high-end players. Tony Kukoc, he only averaged like 12 points a game. But I feel like during that period, if you would have put him on any other team, he would have been 20, 25. But the reason why he was 10 or 11 is because he was on that team.
Yeah.
So they had guys that played their roles perfectly, but he had a very talented team.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, everybody did what they had to do. And also, but also the other thing too, I swear, bro, but I feel like before the physicality in those games, bro, it was push come to shove, and dude, it was like ball where they were throwing elbows, bro. And I mean, that to me is the difference, because it's like, if they're letting that thing fly, so be it. Made it more entertaining for us.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it was just a different level set of basketball back in the days compared to now. Now it's like that's a foul automatically. Yeah. And it's like, I think it's just a different era of basketball, to where, for me, it's fair to say for me that it was a lot harder back then.
So the interesting thing is that, like, there's a lot of people that have won way more championships than Jordan.
Yeah.
And no one ever mentions them, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much the entire Boston Celtics from the 50s, since like Bill Russell's teammates. Yeah. Literally, look, all of these guys are his teammates. And those are the most wins, right? Yeah. He's got 11. Sam Jones has 10. Four other guys have 8. And then there's 2 dudes who have 7.
And also,
that were out Boston.
The also thing I want to mention too, bro.
It's top 7 guys in the league, all Boston.
I text this to you. I think I messaged this to you, but the way that the other players from the teams around that time would talk about Jordan, and how not only would he talk that talk, but he would back it up when he would play one-on-one in those games. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why they call him Black Jesus. A lot of times they're like, oh, you're talking about Black Jesus. And he would let you know, like, oh, you think you're going to put up a 20 or 30? Watch, 40 points tonight. Yeah. And he would do it. But that's the thing, like, he was about that action. That to me is like, I respect that, because it's like, it's so rare somebody could say that, but they actually do it. Yeah. And it's, to me, like, I just.
What other?
The Last Dance, to me, like that, for that show right there was just like.
One other argument I would make is that, like, if you look at his shooting lines in a lot of his box scores, he shoots like, he shot the ball 49 times. Yeah. Like, yeah, you're going to score 50 if you shoot the fucking ball 49 times. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, most people out there that play ball, tell me how many points in the comments you would score if you were allowed to shoot the ball 50 times in one game. Yeah. And could you even get your arms up 50 times in one game? Yeah. That's like kind of impressive in itself. Yeah. And a lot of people don't talk about that, right? Because I play a little college ball. You get on that machine and you shoot like 1,000 jumpers. You get to the point where your elbow is sore. Starts getting like your arm almost starts getting sore, because you're lifting this ball that's 29.5 ounces over and over again, over and over again, and repetitive motion. It's like golfing, right? Or doing whatever, anything with the repetitive motion. Eventually, you're going to start getting tired, you know. Yeah. So. Yeah. No, man, it's impressive. It's impressive.
How did we get to basketball again?
We were talking about Bill Russell.
The
rings, championships. We were talking about Tom Brady.
Okay. Yeah. So going back to Mahomes, three rings at a young age. Okay.
3 for 4.
3 for 4. Yep.
I think Brady was like 7 for 12 or something.
If we give predictions now on who's going to make it towards the end, but to answer your question, is it the same as rocking an MJ jersey? Rocking a Mahomes jersey, is it the same?
I think it is. Almost.
I would say almost. Only because he's still active. That's
maybe
why.
Like wearing a Kobe jersey?
Yeah, I would say something like that. Yeah. Because he's still active, and I mean, dude, he's got a lot of life. Unless there's no major injuries happening to him in the near future. But I mean, bro, when it's all said and done, I wouldn't be surprised it would break Brady's record of 7 rings.
Yeah, if he stays healthy.
Yeah, I mean, if he stays healthy, I think he would get the.
I think he's got a chance to get another one this year.
You think so?
Yep.
Some people are saying the Bills.
They said that last year.
They said.
Remember?
There you go, Bills fans.
And I said they were going to win it last year.
Yeah, you did. You did.
So, I mean,
okay.
Oh, they're out. They're injured. Mahomes' ankle hurts.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like they said the same thing the other day. They're like, Mahomes is nursing the same ankle injury from last season, and he opens up the game, runs at 25 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
It's like, where's the ankle injury?
The guy's amazing, though, dude. He can play, bro.
Doesn't really look that athletic either.
No, he doesn't, but he's a good quarterback, bro.
He's like the Ricky Bobby of mixed. Like,
yeah.
The way he talks like Kermit the Frog.
P. Mahomes. What do they call him? Patty Mahomes?
Yeah.
But Kansas City, man, I'll give it. Yeah, I mean, I would say that they're going to be the ones that probably take it. I think I see them against who? Who would you say? Kansas versus?
You would have to say either the Eagles.
But they're out though.
No, they're not.
They're not. They're still in.
No, the Eagles are number one.
Oh damn. Okay.
Oh well, they just lost today actually, so they could have locked up the number one seed.
Okay.
The Commanders ended up beating them at the last second. They melted down. Yeah. I would say the Lions.
Oh, okay.
The Lions are probably the favorite in the NFC. So I would say it would be pretty awesome to see Lions versus the Bills, but I think it's going to be Lions Chiefs.
Lions Chiefs, okay.
Yeah.
Fair play for me. What do you guys think? Leave in the comments. Like, who do you think is going to make it to the Super Bowl? Who are you fans of?
You can't bet against Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
You can't bet against Bill Russell though.
Bill Russell, yeah.
Bill Russell would get smoked by LeBron. No, you might actually do. Bill Russell's he's long. He's like 7. I think he was over 7 feet.
Yeah.
He in his day, he'd probably give him a really hard time. Like realistically, especially if they're playing like prison ball rules, like back in the '60s.
Prison ball rule. Yeah. Okay. So one other thing to touch on basketball, since we're talking about Bill Russell. So what's this deal with LeBron said a statement? He made a statement about how viewership for the NBA is down. Why do you think viewership is down for the NBA?
I don't think it is.
That's what he said.
Well, no one wants to watch 60 games where people don't try.
Okay.
That to me, like the real tell is okay. It is true that the regular season no one cares, so the viewership probably is down.
Okay.
But once it gets to like the last 2 weeks of the season and then gets to the playoffs, I want to say that they had like record numbers last year.
Okay.
Like in the playoffs and stuff like that. But the problem is that you almost have to look at the way they run that now, right?
Yeah.
Like if no one's paying attention, the players are resting. Like have you heard about load management?
No.
So over the last I want to say 10 years, it's been a thing. But Greg Popovich used to do it, and it became a thing when he was doing it with Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili. He was basically, without them being injured, he was just sitting them out games. And they call it load management. So they would put, Spurs versus Lakers, on ABC, and then Tim Duncan, Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Kobe Bryant all don't play. So then what makes the game like no one's going to watch it?
So you're holding your superstars out. You're
to rest them for later. Not it's like a real thing they're doing. They're trying to give them rest, but the NBA sees it as like the fans bought these tickets ahead of time to watch Kobe play and to watch Tim Duncan play. And the little kid that shows up and then you're telling him that he's resting because he played last night. Yeah, it's lame, What
do you think? So you think it's a BS?
They do it though. The NBA tried to regulate it for a while. Yeah, they were like finding teams and stuff like that. They haven't done that in a long time. Joel Embiid on the Sixers. Yeah, he does that all for the last 5 seasons. Like last year, he missed so many games during the regular season. He wasn't eligible for season awards. So you have to play in
X amount of games,
80% of the season in order to qualify for MVP. I want to say you can still make all pro, but when it comes to like the MVP, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, like all that stuff, he can't win any of that.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, I did not know that.
Yep.
Wow.
So it's like 68 games or something, or 60. Well, you can do the math, whatever 80% of 82 is.
Yeah.
I think it's like 68 or 69. You have to play 68 games.
At that point, why don't they just lower the tickets then? If you know these people are going to play, don't charge them $300
But
per ticket.
some people buy them months at a time, you know?
Ah, okay.
Like, and it's hard to say. It happened to me before when I was a kid. Like, I showed up to go watch the Sonics play, and like Gary Payton and just Sean Kemp weren't playing.
Yeah. Did you walk out of the arena with your head down?
Yeah, dude. in my green overalls.
Your Seattle Seahawks hat?
Yeah,
or not, your Sonics hat, sorry.
Yeah,
damn, dude. That's unfortunate. Yeah. That's crazy. Okay, but I mean,
one time Kevin Garnett, when I was a kid, I'll never forget this. He actually tried to give me one of his shoes, and then someone stole it from me. So he just like talked to me. We like talked for like a couple minutes. Yeah. But he played for the Timberwolves. Okay. And this was like in the Key Arena, and I was like he was like 3 years in the league, so I was like maybe 12, like 13, and I was like, KG, you're like my favorite player. And he's like, oh, for real? And he took his shoe off, and he threw it, but he threw it over my head on accident. And he's like, oh, my bad, man. He's like, what's your name? And I'm like, oh, Brad. And he's like, you play basketball? Well, I was like up on the thing, so he was like looking up at me. And I was just like, he's like, you play basketball? And I'm like, yeah, I play basketball. Yeah. And he's like, okay. He's like, you gonna play in the NBA one day? Like in that voice. And I was like, I want to. And he's like, who's your favorite player? Yeah. I'm like, Gary Payton. He's like, GP, that's what's up. Yeah. And then he's like, all right, kid. And he just like that and just left.
Damn. So at least it was cool to do that.
Yeah, at least it was cool. Yeah, but he had nothing to give me. Because he took his jersey off already and like gave it, he like threw it like somewhere, and then gave one of his shoes already, and then had the other one in his hand and threw it, and it went over my head. So he didn't have anything. He didn't have anything. He already took his wristband, because like that's what he would do at the end of the game always. He would always take his wristband off and just launch it into the crowd. So he had nothing left. He literally had like his like underwear and like
give me a sock,
like his shirt, like his shorts. He'd have to like take his shorts off and be like wearing boxers. Yeah.
Dang, so who got the shoe?
Some dude, some old dude.
Dude, wherever you are, you suck, man. Right? See a kid down there, you should have gave him to him.
It's like the guy who stole my Ichiro ball.
Right?
You remember that? We skipped school, me and my buddy, and they hit a line drive and went pink off the top like thing, and it landed right below my seat, and this old man ripped it out of my hand. I rode the bus to the game. I was 14.
Yeah, I remember you telling that.
Like a 55-year-old man.
You too, old man. Whoever stole that ball from a kid.
He goes like it presses on my hand and then rips the ball out of my hand.
How dare you?
And then goes,
How dare you?
Yeah!
How do you feel as a man ripping the ball out of a, what is it, 13-year-old kid?
14.
14-year-old kid. Yeah. Sucker.
I did look like I was like 31 at the time.
No, man, that's crazy. Oh, that's an interesting story. So, Kevin Garnett, and you could have got an Ichiro ball, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, and then I almost got hit by Dan Wilson by a car. Dan Wilson, remember the catcher when Griffey was in the Mariners? The white catcher? Dan Wilson. So me and my dad were walking around the Kingdom before they knocked it down. Yeah. And we were walking in, and all of a sudden this Jeep just comes flying around the corner. My dad grabs me, and the Jeep will and like pulls on the brakes. Yeah. And Dan Wilson pops out and runs in through the gate. Oh, really? It was his wife. She's like, sorry. She rolled down the window.
Like, give my son a flying baseball next time.
What's crazy is he was actually like one of my, even though he wasn't Griffey or like, he was like Buhner. Like on that level, Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez, like he was. So when I saw him, I was like, I really want his autograph, like under my breath. And then he just ran in. So I probably could have got it if I was like, hey, Dad. But
you were starstruck. That's what it was. And also, you almost got ran over. So the adrenaline was flowing. Yeah. That's insane. That's, you got some stories, man. Hopefully something will happen good in faith where, you know, I don't know, like somebody of a high status in sports will hook you up sometime, man. I don't know. Yeah. By the way, sorry to change subject. UFC's coming here in February. Seattle.
Oh, really?
Go?
Okay.
We should.
Hell yeah.
Dude, yeah. Hopefully it's a pay-per-view event, but I was reading that they are going to be here in February.
Fight night. It's probably
but hopefully, I mean, if you it's going to be at the
Climate Pledge.
Yes. It's a pretty big arena too. So
I just went there for John Legend.
Oh yeah. You told me that. It was good.
was great.
Worth it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would give a little tune there, but you know.
Was it Christmas themed? It was, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
He did all of his.
Where did
he did like Ordinary People, which is like the take it slow. Oh, and he's like, oh, like ding, 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 ding. And then there's God, the one that everybody, All of Me. I'm not singing that one. It's like, what would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out.
I don't remember.
You got my head spinning.
The only song I know of him was the one with Andre 3K. I'm ready to go right now.
Oh, yeah.
That one. That's the only one that I remember like off top. But okay.
One was like best I ever had. And you don't know him.
Yeah,
you're not a fan.
I don't know. I only know that one song, but okay. Yeah, they're coming in February, UFC, and I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be like I doubt it's gonna be a pay-per-view event, but I know they're gonna be here, so I'll have to check that out.
I remember the first one that ever came to Seattle. It was like Minotauro Nogueira. Do you remember the Nogueira brothers? They were Brazilian heavyweights, and he fought against Phil Davis.
Okay.
But it was a really
it was all right. Yeah,
it was like a fight night, like free fight kind of thing.
Okay, it makes sense. So it probably was something at a high caliber, you know.
But experience-wise, it would be badass, like because the experience is probably way more affordable at a fight night than it is versus like a Conor McGregor. You know, like
Tickets are like 1,000.
Yeah, it's like going to the Super Bowl. You know, like pay like $8,000 to go sit ringside. Me and my buddy Roger actually looked into. Because they actually do these fight nights. They started doing them during COVID at the Apex.
Okay.
It's called the UFC Apex, and it's basically like their gym, but they set it up for like a very, very like private event. Yeah. So you can watch it on TV, but there's only like 500 people there. But it's ridiculously expensive. Me and him looked it up, and just for like a fight night type card, like where you don't even really know the guys, it's like $4,000 a piece. But it's like you're walking around with like Dana White, like everyone's all in the same area. There's like a buffet, a bar, and you're just like all hanging out in the same area.
Insane.
Like in a small UFC, like the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah. Like when they fight in like the gym. Pretty cool, huh?
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So we'll look more into that, you know, and we'll see if we can maybe we can all go.
$6,000 a seat.
$6,000 a seat.
If the Cardinals won today, we could have done it. I hate you, Kyler Murray.
Oh man,
fucking hobbit.
You've been on a winning streak.
He wears a bra.
What the hell, really?
No, it's not really a bra. People that maybe might be younger in the comments, please explain to me why these men are wearing bras. I'm dead ass.
Really?
Look it up. It's some sort of like a sports. But they're wearing it without anything underneath it, and it's up to here. It's a tank top like sports bra for men. Yes. the kids on the basketball team.
Neoprene brace. Yeah. I think I know.
What's it for?
It's just a vest.
It's a brace?
It's a brace, I guess.
Oh, for the back?
A neoprene brace.
I'm confused. I didn't understand it, but Kyler Murray was wearing one during the offseason.
We should rock with in the summer.
He had spandex on when he was practicing. He had no pants, and then he was wearing the bra. So he literally looked like he was wearing underwear. I'm like, what is this guy?
It's almost like we always make fun of this, the shirts that are round at the bottom.
Oh, yeah. The rounded ones.
The tapered out ones. It's just different styles coming out every year. I mean, even me, I look at some of the stuff, I'm like, if we thought like baggy pants were like the cool thing back then, I can only imagine what new stuff's going to come out now.
I will say, though, baggy looks so bad. Like, to me, like, I think out of all the styles, like, that we've gone through in our lifetime, tighter clothes fits better on people.
Yeah,
like you look like ass. Like, the people that are wearing, like, these jeans now, like, even the kids at my school, like, that I coach.
Super baggy.
They come in, so the Travis Scott actually just did a Nike collab, right?
Yeah.
He just dropped some more of those Jordan 1s, but in a different color. And he drops merch with it always, right? His sweatpants were this wide. So
like parachute.
you're literally wearing them, and they're this wide at the bottom of your so you're walking around
covers your shoe.
wearing bell bottoms basically. You know? And a couple of kids walked in wearing something like that the other day, and I'm looking at them, I'm like, what are you dressed like a woman today? Like, what is going on? Like, because girls dress in those too.
Yeah, it's a very common. It's a very common style. Yeah, it is.
I mean, honestly, my girl kind of dresses that way in those sometimes, which is fine. It's like high beastie, you know what I mean? But like for a dude to do that, it's like kind of weird. That's like when we dress like girls now. Like, I don't know. I mean, Machine Gun Kelly's been doing that for years. He's doing up all right.
Yeah.
That guy, man. He's
Blacked out his whole body.
He's like the rapped out. He's like the rapper Marilyn Manson.
Last thing I heard of him, just because like I rarely pay attention to just anything in regards to the famous people, but him and Megan Fox, is it Megan Fox?
Yeah, when they
split up, right?
Pregnant,
They split up, right?
Yeah, he wants to be Travis Barker so bad. In my opinion, Travis Barker is like that dude. Even though he's having health problems, I hope he's doing better. Prayers up, but he's like iconic, right? Like,
Blink-182,
he's like untouchable.
Right?
He's like a god of rock.
Yeah.
And MGK wants so bad to be one of those guys.
Yeah.
He started his own little rock band and fucking screamo band and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, he's a good rapper in my opinion.
Yeah.
But he's just not like, there's nothing special about it. Yeah. Other than the fact that he's white.
And he blacked out his body.
In my opinion, the aura went way down. Yeah. The aura.
He had his run. I mean, he had his run.
Aura, he was getting up there in the green, and now his aura floated all the way down to like the red, orange area. Yeah.
Hey man, just you were dating what I would say at the time when she came out in Transformers. One of the hottest actresses at that time.
She still is.
Yeah, she's pretty. She's very pretty. I mean, dude, just be a father to your kid, man. You know, just work things out.
Well,
live life,
I think he's just a weirdo. I don't know if it's about being a father. I think she probably just realized he's like, literally,
what am I doing?
He's literally like Howard Stern. Like he's a complete fucking scumbag. Seriously, he really is, dude. That's the reason why everyone wants to beat his ass. Like every single time they need it.
I think what was it?
Conor McGregor wanted to beat his ass.
No, Conor McGregor. I think
Some other guy.
Also, what's his name? Sean Strickland?
Yes. Well, he has problems. He tries to pick fights with professional fighters. Like, okay, dude, you're 6'3" and you weigh 155. You will get folded up.
It will be a bad day.
You will get folded up like a lawn chair from anyone in a 10-mile radius from where I'm at right now. Yeah. You could go knock on the door and little Timmy would fold your ass up. Like, it wouldn't be hard. And like he's got all these rings hanging out of him, you know. It's like, dude, just grab him by the rings, throw him to the ground, he's done. Yeah. He'd be like the kid in God. There was a kid like that. I'm trying to remember the movie, but they like flash over to him and he has like all these rings over his face. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know. It sounds funny in my head.
It's like a goth kid and they like flash over to him. They're like, hey, what do you think? And he's like, and he has like all these rings. Like all
is it a National Lampoon's movie?
Yes.
I think it's what it's called.
It's
Vegas
Uncle
Vacation.
Eddie. It's Uncle Eddie.
His son.
Yeah, he's like, he's a hell of a kid.
He's a hell of a kid. He's like, boy can eat food through a straw. Like that.
Yeah, he's like, he says rings on.
Yeah. One of my favorite
That's
movies.
What MGK, that's what he reminds me of, dude.
Oh, good times, bro.
A harpoon through his cheek.
Moral of the story, don't get too many piercings.
Don't black out your body.
Don't black out your body.
What are you doing?
Yeah, be very cautious with the tattoos you put on your body.
And then you get to explain to every African-American person you meet for the rest of your life why your body is blackface. Like, why didn't you just go ahead and go the normal route and get them removed?
Yeah.
Instead of blacking out your whole body.
Yeah.
And like, you truly seems like you want to be black. Like, let's be real. I mean, I don't really know what his deal is.
I think he made a good living to the point where, like, dude, just enjoy life, man.
He's probably going to be one of those dudes where he paints his eyes black.
Needles in my eyeballs.
Yeah, dude.
Makes me crazy. Sick, man.
It's hardcore. The Doyle rules. Remember that?
Yeah. They're driving off the cliff.
Addison?
Yeah, Doyle rules. Oh, good times. Nonetheless, brother, anything else on the agenda? You want to wrap this one up? I mean,
Yeah, we wrap it up. We just mentioned real quick, Tyson Fury's career is over.
oh, bro.
R.I.P.
I mean, Usyk, dude. I mean, he's a gold medalist.
We called it the first time. We thought he was. We thought he was going to win. I knew he was going to win again.
Yeah, I mean,
He tried the beard. Did you see the beard thing? The controversy.
Like he let it grow so he could take the punches.
He
right?
Usyk wanted him to
Shave it.
Yeah, did he end up shaving it?
No, he still had it.
Okay, he did at the fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, I also heard that Usyk's trainers and like management wanted him to cut it. Usyk himself was like, I don't care, right? Well, I didn't even ask. They just noticed.
Yeah. They were saying it's kind of like a way for them, not like for the hits, like for it to kind of be like a more of like a cushion. But I mean, at the end of the day, he lost, so it's like 2 losses now on Tyson Fury's resume. So I mean,
both to the same guy.
It's the same guy.
So he's pretty much, in my opinion, he has to be finished unless someone beats Usyk.
Yeah. Usyk's undefeated too right now.
And then then Usyk better hope that guy wins. You know, that Fury beats that guy because he'll get an immediate shot at a third chance at him.
Yeah.
So
since we're on the boxing tip, we'll close out on this one. Yeah. They're saying that they're closing in on the deal between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez.
I can't wait for that.
What do you think?
I think Bud's gonna win.
You think so?
Crawford, yeah.
I'll say
I think Canelo's past his prime personally.
Okay,
that's why.
I'll say this.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like weight's going to be a factor only because Terence Crawford went to 154 pounds in the last fight, and it did seem like the weight did play a significant role. I feel like his power wasn't really all there in comparison to when he fights at 147 and 140, where he's like normally at. And the fight went the distance. This is the one fight in a long time that this fight went the distance. So that's what people were saying. Like, think about it. 154, that's what happened. He's going to go to 168. I think it's going to be deep waters for him. Honestly, to me, my personal guess.
We'll have to watch it here.
You have to watch that. That's going to be.
Hey, we'll go put some bets. We'll go put some bets on the DraftKings app.
Yeah.
Creator
not sponsored.
code.
Not sponsored.
Please hit us up.
But no. Yes, that one I will want to bet. I'll bet on that one. I'll bet on Canelo. Easy. Yeah. I don't know what round. I'm horrible at picking rounds.
Well, I'm gonna bet on the other guy.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, nonetheless, we're gonna sign this out. Again, I want to remind everybody. Actually, I do see that there's a lot of people that view our content, and also just help us out by subscribing, following us on Instagram, subscribing to YouTube, comment under our videos. Just try to get the activity up so we can go more into the algorithm. Everything that what we will get in the future, it goes into production with how we make these videos. Just trying to be more interactive with our viewers and listeners, all that fun stuff. But we're on Instagram, Beyond Suspicion Podcast. We'll have links directly to where we're available at. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Tune FM Radio, all the big streaming platforms. And again, I want to say Merry Christmas to all of you. Hopefully you have a fantastic day with your families. It's the time of giving, and definitely enjoy all the Christmas openings and everything and all that stuff. And I don't want to say Happy New Year's yet because we might do one before the New Year's. We will see. But if for whatever reason we don't record a new episode before the New Year's, have an awesome and amazing New Year's. Hopefully this year everything went well to your liking, to your planning, all that jazz. And 2025 will be much better for you. But it's just a new way to begin the new year and set new goals and set new things that you want to achieve in life. So, yeah, man. I mean, anything else?
Huh?
That's it.
I mean, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Straight to the cut. All right. We're going to sign out. We love you. Take care. Stay safe out there. Till next time. Peace.